Okay, welcome to Learning to Make Hot Process Soap with yours truly, Penny Nelson. And um, since I don't do this perfectly, and I'm just going to carry on without perfection, the intro will be a separate video that you can view. So I am just going to jump in and thank you for joining me and coming on along. Okay, you will get a free recipe, and here is my secret recipes. Just kidding! Don't have any secrets. We're going to start with the free recipes, and then I'm going to make a small batch and a large batch. So how you get your free recipe. Oh, first I need to go over this. Disclaimer. That's what I can't. Okay. This is everything in my opinion. I have been making soap for since 2015, and I have learned a few things. I am not teaching you everything you need to know. You are responsible for yourself, so you will have to gather everything that you need, because I'm not giving you everything you need, and there's things you need to know that I'm not telling you. So I'm not responsible for that. You are. You're responsible for yourself at all times. So there's my disclaimer. That should adequately put responsibility on you instead of me, in my opinion, which all of this is in my opinion. Okay, now there are some other videos that I have made on my channel in a playlist called Mumsy's Soap School, where I have gone over things a little better than perhaps I'm doing today. I'm not sure. And as far as my Mumsy Soap School playlist, my name is Penny Nelson. That's where we are. And I am glad to share with you today. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to gather ingredients and knowledge, including a recipe, which I'm giving you. You're going to gather the tools, and then you're going to prepare your lye water. As far as my videoing, I use the pause button method. That's the extent of the videography that I do, because I was born in 1968 and I'm close to being a boomer, although I'm actually not. So I'm just gonna do it wrong, and you'll just have to fast forward or make it speedy. And I'm gonna try to not apologize for my existence. I'm just gonna invite you to come along. So let's get started with the recipe, shall we? We shall. Okay, more than likely, this is the size, if you're a beginner, this is the size soap that you would be doing. And how you view the recipe is you press the pause button, take a screenshot, and then zoom in. So this is my recipe. You could make your own recipe on SoapCal, but this is the recipe that I use in this small crock pot, which we'll be doing together. Okay, here is your recipe for the large batch. Same directions. For this, I will be using Steph's Micas and More, Plum Purple Mica. I highly recommend for micas and for fragrance oils, but I am using essential oil for my lavender oatmeal soap. And so I will be using Now essential oil that I purchased at my local Good Life Nutrition Center here in Marion, Illinois. And if you want to buy some of my soap, they have that available for $6 a bar. But if you buy it from me, it's $5 a bar, or $7 for $30 until I change the price. Because after buying this essential oil, I probably, with all this inflation, I probably need to, I don't know. Anyways, the reason why I have that size batch is because it fits in this size crock pot, which fits in this size mold. You can use any mold that you want to use. My husband made me this one, but I wanted to make as much soap as I could in that crock pot, and that's how I do it. You can do it however you want. For the small batch, you can use a, I'll show you, a cardboard, like a milk container that you can use for your mold. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is prepare my oils. And so I like to heat my oils in the microwave to get them down to get them workable. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh no, actually I'm going to follow the directions. And the directions say, carefully prepare lye water. And so you need to use proper safety precaution when you make lye, which I'm not teaching you that right. I already said that. You're a grown up. Okay, we're going to prepare our lye water. So you need distilled water. And of course, that's why you need to fight with your scale. Okay, I'm just going to enjoy it. You can fast forward. Okay, we need 905 grams of distilled water. And we need to concentrate. It's grams. What's going on here? Oh, I know what it is. I have to press the button in the back. I measure everything in grams because it's better math. Zero the scale. Okay, 905 grams of distilled water. Da-da-da. Oh, too heavy. Okay, and then we're going to weigh for the small batch. Zero the scale. Zero. Okay. 230 grams. Just a smidgen more. Okay. Now I'm going to have to find another container, but you get the idea. Lye is dangerous. It's chemical hot. It will burn you. Be very careful. Never, never, never get it in your eye. Okay, the type of lye that you're going to use, you can get online. I buy this from Duda Diesel. That's the best price that I have, but you can sometimes buy it from a local place. In Marion, Illinois, the only place that you can buy lye is Small's Grocery. And you want it to say, that's what 99% pure sodium hydroxide, that's what lye is. You cannot make lye. You should not lie. You cannot make soap without lye. You have to. You must. But it's less dangerous than COVID, don't you think? I think. Okay, so now, back to the right recipe. Lye, 370 grams. And you can't, it depends on what oils you use as to how much lye it depends on a lot of things. But mainly it depends on me remembering 370. Slow down. 370. 63, 64, 65, 68, 70, 370. You always add lye to water, not the other way around. I'm looking for something else to put the lye in for the smaller one, but I have a brilliant idea. Just reuse the glass container instead of, I do the dump. I hope you can see I didn't check you. You stir it thoroughly. You try not to breathe or talk because there are some fumes involved. Use your own discretion. But mainly you want to be sure that it's stirred, because if you don't stir it, you could develop a problem. One time I had a problem and I'd like to avoid that for the rest of my life now. So it's adequately stirred and it raises to over 200 degrees. I can see steam. I don't know that you can because I don't have good equipment. I have adequate equipment, but I don't have. So now we're going to do it again with the smaller batch. Lye for the small batch is 93 grams. The next thing I'm going to prepare is my stearic acid because that is the thing I'm most likely to forget. And I don't want to forget. Okay, so first you have to get your bucket open. You got to be smarter than what you're working with, and that always holds me up. So I know for my small batch I'm going to need 11 grams. And for my big batch, I'm pretty sure I need 54, 56, but I always have to look. But all I have to do is remember 11 for now. Okay, and I'll show you the stearic acid. It helps. The person who trained me how to do it, which was Kimberly McNutt, I watched her online. She used stearic acid, and I just continue to use it. It works really good. So that's not much of an example or explaining why I do it, because I do, but you can do what you want. All right, so now fight with the scale and win. Okay, got to start at 0. Okay, so stearic acid is 57. So that's about 2% of my recipe. Okay, just a smidgen more. I'm going to take you in and show you. It's a flaky stuff. Now this I got from, I just ordered it on Amazon, but it is Essential Depot, which I can't figure it out. They have all this stuff. If you're going to do a lot of stuff, that'd be good. But I just bought it online from Amazon. But I do, if I ever promoted right, maybe I don't know what. Anyways. Now for the big batch, I'm going to add a whole coconut oil. And because I've done this a lot of times and I've cleverly written it down, I know that the coconut oil weighs 782 grams. So I am going to subtract 907 or whatever it is. I'm going to do math. I'll do that without you. So the remaining amount is 125 grams. And I just like to use this plastic container to do all my measuring in. And I can do that. So I've got all my coconut oil in. So now I need to get my vegetable oil in, which is soybean oil. And I'm from Illinois, which is why I use soybeans, because we grow soybeans here. And I don't know. That's why. So I'm gonna measure my soybean oil. I'm going to spend some time fighting with this foil label, and you don't want to put that in the microwave. You got to make sure you take it all off before you heat your oils in the microwave. Our soybean oil is $7.94. $7.94. Gotta make sure you put all your ingredients in, which I use coconut oil, soybean oil, and manteca, otherwise known as lard. The other option you can use instead of lard is palm oil. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of another on that. You just have to pick your preference and your cost. Now the other thing I do is I super fat my soap. And so I make my recipe and I have no super fat discount, 0%. And so I add my super fats later. And this is where you can add all of your really expensive oils, but I use coconut oil, extra pure, extra virgin, organic, the most expensive olive oil I can get. And I use glycerin, which this is now. You can get in at 100% vegetable glycerin. But since this is, and it's 76 coconut, 69 olive oil, 30 glycerin, and also we're going to add 65 grams of honey at the end of the cook. Okay, because it makes the soap really, 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 really brown. But I'm using colloidal oatmeal, which is just regular oatmeal, and you blend it in your, what's it called? Well, however you can make it finer. So I use it's a blender like on the counter that I make my unicorn milk with. So the reason I put my oatmeal in here to soften. That's why I'm doing this now. But we got to fight with the scale since I'm bringing you along for the ride. Oh Lord. No, that's not it. Yes, it is. Okay, so we're gonna 0 it. So we have 0 grams. So now we're just gonna take our oatmeal, and we want, where does it tell me how much oatmeal to put in? 38 grams of oatmeal. Soak in. 38 grams. We're not even in the frame. So we gotta start with 0, or we have to, that's mode. Okay, probably because our surface is not flat. This is not especially critical, but we want to do it the same every time, right? We do. That's mode again. So we want to have 0, and we want to have grams. Okay, 38. You're along for the ride. 33, 37. I don't believe it. 30, 39. See how it did that? The other option is you could cook it in your thing, and I'm kind of wondering why I don't do it that way. But that was my directions, and that's how I do it. So I'm going to stay with it today. But you could cook it. You could cook it in your regular oils. Okay, in the meantime, I have my crock on low. It's heating the oils. And I'm going to go get my lard because we don't want to forget an ingredient. And now we've got the manteca. I get all of my ingredients at Walmart. Cheaper the better. And I am very pleased with the recipe that I've come up with. So you're welcome. Of course, you can make your own, but I'm happy with this one. If you don't want to reinvent the wheel, you don't have to. You can use mine. You're welcome. Dun 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 dun. I don't care for the smell of it. Okay, now we are going to we're going to add our lye water, and we're going to use an immersion stick blender to bring it to trace. Now I have a couple of extra immersion stick blenders. You used to be able to get one of these at Walmart for $10, but they're probably 20 now. You probably can't do that anymore. And you need to be careful with your lye water. So I'm going to take it from over here to over here. And then, I got a couple other things to do too. Okay, and this is loud, so sorry for you. But we're going to take it. I should bring you in a little closer. We're going to give it a buzz. I'll bring you in a minute. Now, when you add the lye water to the oils, okay, we're going to force the saponification with the heat. So until it is completely saponified, the batter will be chemical hot. So you wouldn't want to get it on your hands or in your eyes or anything. So I'm just giving it a buzz to get that stearic acid moved in a little bit. Hot process soap making is a very forgiving sport or science. You don't have to worry about your temperature so much because we're going to force it later. It's very forgiving. If it was difficult, I would not be able to accomplish it. So now I'm gonna, what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna leave you alone because with these green gloves on, it's very difficult to turn the thing on and off. So you wouldn't want to splash on you. So I guess we'll just do real time here, and you can fast forward if you need to. I've been taught that it's better to do more than less with hot process. I'm on the low setting if that matters to you. We want it to get to like a pudding consistency. Now I started making hot process soap as a fundraiser to raise money so that I could go on a mission trip to Port-au-Prince, Haiti in 2015. And I sold my soap at the farmer's market, and I just sell it by word of mouth. And I'm amazed at what God has done. So that's why I share everything with you, because I just would watch videos and learn how to do it. So learned a little bit about making amateur videos and a lot about making soap in the last, oh my gosh, is it 9 years? I'd say that lavender oatmeal is one of my most popular bars. Over the last year, 2023, I did go to Haiti in 2023. It was dangerous, and I did survive. I assessed the risk, and I obeyed God. So I don't know that that's going to be happening again this year, although there is a community of people in Haiti. See how that's thickening up? Whoa, you should never do that. Oh my gosh. That's why you have your safety equipment, because I just buzzed that and got chemical hot soap on you. And if it would have got in my eye, that would have been a really bad day. But I was talking about Haiti. Oh, and this is what I clean up with. So I'll have to figure out how to sanitize this high chair to get the chemical hot off of it, because we don't want that to be on Broly. But we're going to finish stirring. Okay, Haiti. What I was saying was, yeah, and it's ready. This is enough. See that? Moved you. See how it's like pudding? So that's good enough. Oh, Lord. Take your finger off the trigger. Okay. And so, all right. So now I'm going to scrape it down. Get all that soap in there. Down in there. Wipe it off a little more because I just got the chemical hot everywhere. Oh, Lord. If it's on the floor. Okay. The point of what I was saying is we wanted to be invested in the same community. So there's a group of us that have gone to Haiti. I've gone, I don't know how many times now, but we started in 2013, I believe. And it was Equipping Haiti. EquippingHaiti.org if you want to check it out. And there are people that we love that are there. So I have invested. Sometimes I think I'm not doing enough, but I am doing something. So we did just host a Christmas party for them. If I maintained the site, there would be pictures on there. I don't know if Tim has or if he hasn't. But we provided Christmas. Haiti is a third world country. Oh gosh, so many circular problems. But our focus is to share the gospel, but a lot of our focus is to encourage and equip the saints, because it is very hard. That's what it's. Ever been discouraged? That's what have to wait on a generator and pay $10 a gallon for diesel because the electricity comes from a generator that is run on diesel that the gangs hijack and sometimes charge you $20 a gallon for diesel. Anyways, there are obstacles. There are obstacles, and we know that Jesus is the solution. Really, the truth is that there's not much hope in this world for those people, or for anyone, actually. Although that's what we think we're safer, or we have it better because we're in the United States. But the truth is, as my mom says, you could get run over by a papaya truck today. You could walk out. Although that would be in Kauai, Hawaii. In Illinois, you might get run over by a FedEx truck or a UPS truck. Anyways, your life is short and eternity is long. And this is my way of encouraging you to consider your soul. Okay, so after I do that, I mark what time I started. Okay, it's on low heat. It is 1:02 p.m. And making one batch takes me 4 hours. It's probably going to take me a little longer because I'm including you as I do the other little small batch. Because I thought you might want to learn how to do it. And I like talking. So we've got that one batch started. And I'm going to get the small batch going. Basically, we can plan to cook it for an hour and then stir it. We do want to watch it to make sure that it doesn't get too hot and volcano, which is why I'm supposed to have a towel under there. I have a messy back room. Welcome to my messy life. Welcome to my unfinished back room. Welcome to the best I've got at the moment. Anyways, we probably will have more of a chance with the smaller batch if I heat it up. But if you had a volcano, you would not want, well, that'd be a problem. So you want to watch your soap. You don't need to see this. You don't need me to do this. I recommend that you watch the video on lye safety by Katie Carson on her Royalty Soap channel. She makes cold processed soap, but she's got a soap school, Royal Academy perhaps is what she calls it, and that's good information. I do strictly all hot process because I don't like to wait, and I also like to adjust my super fats if I ever do, but it's a really good bar without adding more expensive ingredients. But if you wanted to add something like, shea butter, mango butters, whatever your little heart desires, you'd want to add it in your super fat. You could do whatever you want, but that's what I like to do. So get started. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure out all my oils and for the small batch, and it all fits in that coconut oil container, so that's pretty cool. And then I'm going to bring it in, and then I have my lye water already ready, and then we can kind of watch that. We might do that on high and cook it a little bit faster, but the next thing we need to do, let's see what we have on our report here. Okay, cook soap batter on low in crock pot, prepare mold. Then we want to add super fats to soap and continue cooking. Okay, so molds are the next thing we need to do because we have got to put our soap in something to be molded. So you'll have to, I think when I started, I just put it in a plastic container with saran wrap. But that's a lot. That's what I feel guilty about wasting stuff. So I'm not going to feel guilty. I'm just going to try to do the best I can to keep waste and everything down. But in my community, that's not a really big deal. Nobody's really super concerned about that. So, but I'm a little, oh boy, look at this wreck. So while we're at it, that's what one day I'm planning on redoing, my laundry room. And that's a concern. I like some of the light. I don't know what to do. But today I'm going to make soap. Let's focus on soap. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Look at all this space. That's what somebody said. Instead of criticizing whatever I would like to criticize, I'm grateful for the space. Okay, so what we've got here for our small batch, of course, is we already have our stearic acid in this little pot. We have 215 grams of coconut oil, 200 grams of soybean oil, and 179 grams of manteca. So we're going to add that to our pot, turn it on. It's always good to make sure your pot is on. My other pot is on. My light is on, so it should be working. So we want to get all of the oils out of there. Okay. We're gonna I'm gonna put my stick blender back together because we're gonna take it to trace again. Do the same thing as we did. Just like we just did. Okay, it's been 20 minutes, so you see how it's starting to cook. It's starting to go through the gel phase over there. I don't actually know the names, but it's about 18, 20 minutes in. And I changed my mind. I am going to do the molds first. So to do the molds, I use freezer paper. The freezer paper that you can just get from Walmart. And that's how I do my molds and get it prepared so it's easy to pull out. And then all the feels about having taken up too much of your time. So I think for this portion of the video, while I am I'm going to do what's called a share. I have been doing recovery since 2020. It was 2020 when I started doing recovery, and I want to be sure that I only tell my story and not someone else's story. But the result of the story is that I decided to deal with my food addiction or my compulsive overeating. And in the last, since 3 years, in the last period of time, now it is January of 2024, so June of 2020 to now, I have lost probably 60 pounds, but that wasn't the goal. And I have been set free from compulsive overeating. And so there's that. More than weight loss, because really it was in 2018 after many years of wanting to be free of sugar, and I reasoned that I could be free of sugar because God, Jesus, the one that I serve, 3 in 1, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost, 3 are 1, capital O, one God, not many. When I first started the journey of following Jesus, of believing in Jesus, he answered in power by setting me free of my desire to smoke marijuana. And he just totally delivered me and changed me, and I never smoked pot again. And that was in November of 1988. So I figured since he had done that, it stands to reason that he should be able, and I never had any more cravings or desire to smoke weed. So it stood to reason to me that he could do the same thing with sugar. Although even I say it now, after 5 years, it was so much that he did it and not me doing it. It's surreal and it's hard to believe. So in 2018, God used some events and I got free of sugar. It was 3 months before I realized that I was actually free. And food, that's what the goal is now, is to have intuitive eating and for it to be food. But it was sugar lost its grip on me. It lost its claws and it had no more voice. It still has it doesn't have a voice. It doesn't have any more of a voice, and I don't have any relationship with it any more than, did I set a timer? Because I'll talk way more than 10 minutes if I don't set a timer. I don't have a relationship with the gas in my gas tank. I don't have a relationship with the trash in my trash can. I don't have a relationship with the toilet paper in my bathroom. I don't have a relationship with any of those things. I'm not sure why I have a relationship with food or sugar. But anyways, after 2 years of being free from sugar, and I had no sugar retreats, basically, I don't know, less than 30 or 50 grams of carbs a day. Not always, but for a while I did keto. So usually I try to keep it like below 9 grams of carbs, including sugar. But anyways, I like to make everything a rule. Not everything is a rule. That's perfectionism. That's what I'm working on in recovery now. The isms. Have you ever heard about the isms? Alcoholism. Without the alcohol, you have the isms. Have you ever heard of a dry drunk? Well, the first time I heard of a dry drunk was when this is funny. It's my favorite codependent line. Do you know why I started going to Celebrate Recovery? It was to take somebody else. So I learned what codependency was, and I decided to stay for myself. So codependency is, oh gosh, I hope I can get this right. The trying to control others by controlling circumstances, by trying to help others. Oh darn, my abbreviation of codependency is missing, but it's a lot of things. It's not minding your side of the street. It's looking at the speck in your neighbor's eye and thinking that it's a good idea to help him instead of doing what you need to do. I don't know. Anyways, so I did a step study, and I am probably the most emotionally healthy that I've ever been in my entire life, and that is due to work in recovery. Did I have a point? Just to share with you. So in recovery, we do what's called shares in small groups, and a share is that was one of the first things I learned. I go to CR, Celebrate Recovery, and one of the first things I learned when we went over the guidelines to have a share was that anonymity and confidentiality is the most important thing, but I'm not talking about anybody else, so you're allowed to be here. I don't have any secrets. But the next one was, we are here to support each other, not fix each other. It's like, what? I don't know that there was a time that I had not been trying to fix people or coerce them, is what I would say now, for your own good. Okay, so I've got these. So a share is you just get to talk for a period of time, and the other people in the room just listen, and they don't say anything. They don't respond to you. They don't make any suggestions. They don't give you any advice. They just listen, and they be in the boat with you. And two things. Listening to other people's shares, confidential shares that I can't share. I can't tell you about. have changed my life completely. Just listening to what other people say, and then not fixing them, just listening and sharing. Verbal processing it's been amazing. And that verbal processing has been a big part of my food addiction recovery, or my, what do we call it? Disordered eating. And I never, ever, that's what really, gratitude was one of the things I started working on. And there's a great video by Shawn Achor, I think it is. I think it's actually The Value of Play, but if you look up Shawn Achor and thankfulness, he's got a lot of stuff about that, how thankfulness and gratitude. So I decided to start writing my gratitudes every day, and it was really hard at the beginning. Also, I went to do some regular counseling, which was way too expensive, and I'm not saying that recovery is in lieu of counseling, but I'm saying the benefit that I got from Celebrate Recovery for free in comparison to the amount of money that I spent. It's definitely worth it. It was cost inhibitive to do counseling. It still is. But it's not, recovery is not counseling, but there's many benefits to it. I probably had a point, I wonder what it was. Oh, with gratitude, I decided, you know what? I have a healthy body at 214 pounds, at less than 200 pounds, and it was always my goal to maintain 172. Like, it was the dream of my life to weigh 164 or 163, because and one time I weighed 164 for like 5 minutes at 5 in the morning, and that's a funny story. It's one of the most unsatisfying moments in my life, and it was after I had been water fasting. At any rate, I decided, you know what? I have a healthy body. This body is usable. I can use it, and if I never lose any weight, it doesn't matter, because it's really not about weight. Shall I explain to you what it is about? It's the third part of the Trinity. It's the Holy Spirit. It's obedience and listening to His voice every day, and doing even to the last bite, asking Him and listening and caring about God, does God care what I put in my mouth? Does He care what comes out of my mouth? He probably does. Anyways. What am I sharing? I'm distracted. The point is, it was so unfair. I really thought to myself, it is so unfair. Other people, they can give up weed and never smoke pot again, and they never have to deal with it. But I consider it to be more of a blessing. I get to deal with it many times a day. And perhaps desperation is the fuel that is needed for lots of things. Desperate enough to pray, desperate enough to seek, desperate enough to listen, desperate enough to do it His way. So I get the opportunity 3 times a day plus snacks to put my heart back on Him. And I don't always do it. I relate a lot more to the gentleman, maybe some women who are filled with lust. It's like, I already have eyeballs. How am I going to not see? Well, it's your heart. It's the inner person of the heart. So this is like a teach-a-mony and a share. It's a teach-a-mony. So the point of all that is, not really the point, the side benefit of all that is the lowest weight I've ever gotten, which I still, it seems surreal, and I don't feel any different. I don't feel, body image is not related to reality. 149.7. My highest weight was 326, but it's not about what I weighed or what I weigh or what I'm going to weigh. It's about maybe if I had a stronger why, it would be better. Let's check on the soap. Oh, yay, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Look at that. See how it's rising up though? So what are we? 42 minutes in. I think I could go ahead and stir it, but I'm gonna wait just because it's fun. No, I don't know. I might want to poof it down. I think I will. Stirring is fun. Let's keep you in the frame, shall we? Okay, so with that, ooh, oh my gosh. I have some goals for 2024. And journaling has changed my life. That was one of the first things. Food inventory. If you have food issues, you should really consider food inventory and be honest with yourself, with God, and then with someone you trust. So when I started, I just wrote down everything I eat, and I didn't share it with anyone. I just was honest. And it was funny because I wanted to go see a nutritionist or a food specialist or whatever. This might already be done. I'm going to give it 10 more minutes. This waxy look, I don't know if you can see that. Waxy, oily, petroleum look. Oh boy. That indicates it's soap. So I'm going to turn it to warm. Let's check the temperature. Because you should not add essential oils or fragrance oils until it's down. Oh, I forgot, 160 or 180. It's gone. I'll have to look at my notes. I didn't share the fun with you. Okay, it's over 180 degrees. I believe we have soap, but I'm going to let it cook for 10 more minutes, finish my other mold. I turned it on low. Excuse me, it's on warm, pardon me, because on warm, it's not cooking anymore. Because I want it to cool down. I went to Long Hollow CR in 2020, and I heard the testimony of a person who had been freed from compulsive overeating for like 5 years. And that was when I first started believing that I could be free from compulsive overeating. And I didn't know what that would look like when I started the journey. I didn't know what... But I just started anyways. I went and got the blue chip and I started the road without having any directions. That's what, no roadmap, no way of knowing. I just had the hope that someone else had done it and I could do it too. Not even that. I don't even know. I don't. So I've been free. I've been sober of compulsive overeating for probably 2 years, if not more. And I I can gauge that, and I'm accountable. Accountability has really, I fail. Is it fail? I fall? I dive off the cliff? I would like to be food neutral, and I believe it's possible. I want to function within the boundaries of, it's called intuitive eating, hunger and fullness. That's what I'd like to do. So, do you have any questions about recovery? I suggest I set a timer and I do my other mold. Oh my gosh, this goes to show you inflation. Look at this. This is the one I bought last time. It was 150 square feet, and the new one is 100, and it was the same price. That's inflation. That's 33% inflation. Okay, so I'm going to share a little bit more while I have time, while you have the time, and if you don't want to hang out, you don't have to. For this year, I've got some goals. Okay, the things that I do commit to are 20 minutes a day of exercise, because my back is degenerating, and I need to keep my body. So that will be a time of combined prayer, Bible memorizing, and stretching, because I prayed about it and I can do it that way. I would like to continue. Oh boy, I should just get my notes and share them. I feel restless and dissatisfied. I want to switch things around. It's perfectionism. So how do I address that? Well, I know I'm going to be making soap. I'm almost completely out of soap, and Thursdays is going to be the day. I started a new job. I need to learn skills for that. I really enjoy it. I am a secretary. I'm an administrative assistant for WBA Mission and Prayer Center, and that isn't the actual name. The actual name is Mission Center, but it's a prayer center when I'm there. And I pray for you. One of my prayers is to lead with my ears, keep my mouth quiet, and leave room for God's response. I think that, Jesus invites us to follow him. And he doesn't drag us along. He still doesn't drag me along. He doesn't drag me. He allows, he invites. But it's the enemy that is coercive, and I have been extremely coercive. I mean, can I shine the light right in your eyes? Would that help you? Like, I have what's it called? I have only me has it on truth. What's that word? I don't. And I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I am wrong, but there is a truth. I believe in absolute truth. Absolutely. We all have a jaded perspective because we're stuck in this earth suit. There's two kinds of wisdom: eternal wisdom and earthly wisdom. Both are important and needful, except that this world, this physical world, perishes. In eternity, who you are, my friend, the person that's in your earth suit, is going to last forever. Now I will refrain from using fear. You better watch out or you'll wind up with consequences. Does that motivate anybody? I know that I shouldn't get hit by a car, that it's painful to get hit by a car, but I choose to always play in the street. Whose consequence is that? When the papaya truck comes along, or the FedEx truck comes along, and I'm not paying attention. Is that God's problem? Is God unfair? Because he doesn't spare me from a papaya truck? No, he told me to stay out of the street. He told me to look both ways. He told me to pay attention. A lot of us. Well, that's the other thing. I'm driving something. I'm driving a papaya truck around this world. I'm driving a FedEx truck. My life is driving. My blind spots run people over. Don't you know you shouldn't be in my blind spot? Get out! Might not be the nicest way to do it. What are my blind spots? I'd like to teach. Is there anyone out there that wants to learn? Want to do life together? I'll write it later. This is going to be my mold for my small batch, which I will be giving away, by the way. It will be called a soap scrap sample, and I'm going to be giving them all away. If you don't have a mold, you can use a this once it's empty and you've washed it. And I have other videos that show about that. I wonder if I'll ever run out of space here. Okay, so now we are, it's 2 o'clock. It's never, I'm going to check it again. And I'm probably going to add my super fats. See, normally it looks more like puffy like that. No, I just don't know. So better to cook it more. If you're a soap expert watching this after an hour of me talking on and on, so I can ask my friend, the soap guy, soap man. I think it's done. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to add my super fats. Okay, now it is saponified, so there's no more hot anymore to it. There's no more chemical hot to it. There's temperature hot because it's a crock pot. So what I have here, I already told you, is my super fats. I'm going to add the honey at the end so it doesn't get so exceedingly dark. I'm going to get a different spatula. When I started recovery, I didn't want to trade one dragon idol for another one. I didn't want to trade compulsive overeating for compulsive weighing myself, compulsive exercise, compulsive whatever. Just trade one idol for another. I wanted to, and that continues to be a struggle. Because the scale is one source of information, but it it is not my identity. My identity is in Christ. I indulged in compulsive exercising for many years. I worked out, and I got to 172, working out 13 hours a week. Now I'm going to work 12 hours a week. And I'm going to, on Tuesdays, I'm going to do deep cleaning and decluttering. And on Thursdays, I'm going to do soap most weeks. And I give away most of what I make for missions and missionaries. And I still have supplies on the shelf. And I have a really fabulous product. This soap is awesome. It's really good. I get to give away as much soap as I want. Hey, if it's your birthday, you could ask. Would you? Would you ask for what you need and want? Would you ask for a bar of soap? I've been giving away soap. Better get stocked up. I don't have enough. There's a shortage. There's a shortage. It's $5 a bar. Or 7 for $30. You want some oatmeal lavender. 6 bars should last you 6 months if you take care of it. All right, I'm going to let this cook in for 15 minutes. Isn't that cute? Happy Easter, and it's so little and it's so cute. Since I can't use my phone, I'm going to do my food accountability here. I take a picture of what I'm eating or a video. So every time I eat, it is my opportunity to check in with God, check in with myself, and check in with someone else. I get sometimes stuck on the numbers, nickels, and noise of just writing it down or taking a picture, but if I could use it as an occasion to remind me to turn my eyes to Jesus and think about him and think about what he's thinking, and it's hard to think about him and think about you and think about soap and think about, but I can think about this. Let your conversation be always full of grace. Let your conversation be always full of grace, sprinkled with insight, so that you may know how to respond to every person. That's lead with your ears. Leave room for God's response. Let your conversation be always full of grace, sprinkled with insight, so that you may know how to respond to every person. It's not necessary for me to respond. It's because I like responding and I like talking. My response is not always needful or helpful or required. It might be good to keep my conversation full of grace by not having any. So that's a little something to think on while I'm enjoying my unicorn milk. And I write it in my journal. And then tomorrow I will give account. I will evaluate and I will inventory what I did and why I did it. And if it was in line with what God wanted and what commitments I made. Woo! And if I do it wrong, if I don't keep my word, if I slip, fall, crash and burn, get too close to the edge, dive off the edge, I'm gonna get back up. Get back up. Thanks for letting me share. Now I'm really wondering if I should push on and do my small batch, because I've left it on low. Let's see how hot it is. So I guess worst case scenario is I'll make another video if something goes wrong. Cat hair. Kitty hawk hair. Let's see what we got here. I usually never have the oil this hot. That's what I'm kind of concerned. But as long as I wash it and keeps, as long as I watch it and keep stirring. But I want to make sure I have enough time for you to see the whole thing. I find it hard to believe that it's only 130 degrees. Okay, I'm just gonna go for it, and if anything goes wrong, it'll be a third video. So I've got my oils here, and I'm going to add my lye water. And I'm excited because the oatmeal soap over there is getting close over there. So this is a long video, but okay. And same thing. Now we've already seen this, so I can't wear these and turn you off. I don't know, after all this time, what's another 2 minutes? Yeah. Yeah, so this is it. See how the consistency is? That's what it's supposed to be. Now, I was wondering if the lighting is any better and with the curtain down. That really thickened up there. Another thought I had as far as goals. It's along the lines of fasting, but it's not really fasting. I would like to have some time in the day where I just have only water. So I'm going to try to start with 1 hour because I like to please my mouth. I like for my mouth to be happy. Let's see what time it is. 2:36. So I drink what I call unicorn tea, which is green tea, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, and now collagen. Now that I don't know that that's what, should I not confess it? Now that I had an x-ray of my back and my neck, and growing old is not for the faint of heart. How's that? Uh-oh, I'm not wearing the other glove. Uh-oh, doing it wrong. Do you have any goals for this year? This is how I clean up my chemical hot. I think I already showed you this. Let's see, is the lighting any better? Let's see. One thing that helps when you're cooling is to take it out of the crock, but you want it to be 160 before you add your essential oils or your fragrance oils. Okay, well, what I'm doing is I'm going to add 65 grams of honey. It's a little hot. It still needs to cool down, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now because I want to. And then I'm going to be adding 45 grams of lavender essential oil in case anything goes wrong, so you'll know. For this amount, which is, oh, I can't remember, a safe ratio, in my opinion. Oh, he's so cute. Sugars or honey adds, it's going to make it brown, and it's going to change the color, and it's also going to add a feeling to it. Honey is a humectant, is what I learned, in my opinion. But the way that I make. Ooh, that smells so good. I wish there was smell-o-vision. So you wanna... It smells like a pretzel. I wanted to have something that I could do with soap, with making money, that I could do completely from home. And soap making is something you can do completely from home. When I do one batch, although it's taking less time. That's what I think it's okay. I think that it's gonna be soap. It's soap and it's fine. And anyways, one batch from start to finish with all the steps takes me 4 hours. 2 batches of the same size takes me 6. But it's just so hard to, that doesn't include all of the cleanup. If I don't leave that in there, I'm not going to know what the temperature is. If I don't leave it in, I'm not going to know. Ready to be done. But I don't really want to cook out my expensive essential oil when my 4 ounces of essential oil cost $40 minus, I think I got a certain percent off by going to Good Life, and then I got a certain percent off by using cash, but that's really expensive. Oh, 65. What should I do? What should I do? I should wait. I should exercise patience. I should keep stirring. I should show you this other soap. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, so same, we already went over this. In other countries like Haiti, they have time and no money. In America, we have money and no time. And work and it's just trading time and resources for money. I didn't change it too dark because I added the honey late. When I first went to Haiti, one of the things that I learned was the statistic that I was taught that day is that 50% of all Haitians make $50 a year or less. Now, I'm sure we could get on and see what it really is. I don't know, but you think of that, like, how much is a penny worth? Like, and I've tried to figure out the math, like, how much time do I have to work to make a penny? And if you could figure out how to, let's see, $50 a year is $25 for 6 months. How much would it be a week if it was a 40-hour week? But it doesn't really matter because there are no jobs. You can't get a job. You can. But now, if you have a job and an education, you just want to leave. And other countries are draining the human resources pool because they're smart. So we just take all of the... called the Biden plan. If you can get someone to sponsor you, but who's going to stay? Build a country. If everybody leaves, what about the kids? The kids can't leave. Okay, I'm done doing this. I am going to put the essential oil in now. Close enough. So I use this. 30 plus 15 is 45. Are you on? You are. Oh, I love essential oil. In 2015, essential oil was all the rage. Like had a resurgence of popularity. And I sold essential oil by the drop at the farmer's market. But in my market, that's what I'm saying. It's not, nobody really cares if it's fragrance oil or essential oil. Some people do, not very many. I have one client who's very concerned about green, and I try to keep my brand simple. My brand is simple, complete. Complete is what I like to call it, and I don't have a whole lot of packaging. I have an awesome product, but that's what in a business, in a hobby, in a sales, in economics, all that stuff makes a difference. So it's not so much to look at. Now, as you can see, hot processed soap is a different beast, different animal than cold processed. So I have gloppy. I have like mashed potatoes. So you cannot do pretty stuff. Well, I guess I can't do pretty stuff with it. I'm gonna give it. I wanted my bars. My husband made me this mold because at our local Walmart you can buy a soap box that is a certain size. And I also like to flip in your hand. I like the flip. I don't bevel the edges, I guess it's called, or because then I'd have to do something with it. I mean, it's just not that hard to use your washcloth and get them off yourself, and it's not wasting. You can just rub off the edges yourself. So my friend told me shabby chic, but I think country simple is good. I kind of want to set my timer and make sure. You want to make sure your oil's all mixed in there, otherwise it's gonna dreaded orange spot. I think that's not so pretty. So, relax the shoulders, stand up straight, squeeze the glutes, abdomen in. 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. 3, 4. Relax the shoulders. Pull the glutes in. No, glutes are your bottom side. Gluteus minimus, glutimus maximus. Pull your abs. That's it, your abs in. Got to do a dance class. It's called Refit. It's at the Hub in Marion, Illinois. My precious friend's still there. I only did a half an hour because I was scared to do an hour. The last time I did, I think really was the last time I was there, was in 2017, and I did Zumba Snap. I tore out my left leg, and I couldn't even walk upstairs. I had to do physical therapy and take shots, and sheesh, that was when I was 49. Yep. Now I'm 55, double nickels. And my favorite thing to say is I'm 5. Except the 5-year-olds don't get the joke. It'll be better when I'm 6. 6'10". Got a little ways for that though. So, oh, that looks so pretty. It smells great. So you keep stirring until you're sure. Last year in 2023, my My identity is that I am a daughter of the Most High King. My identity is not that I am a member of the Mothers Who've Lost a Child Club. My identity is that I'm a child of the King. But in saying that, my daughter, Elizabeth Sage, lost her Earth suit on September 28th, 2023. She was 36 years old, and that wasn't what I wanted. So, another thing is to go through grief and feelings without acting out with food or in anger. How's that? While talking nicely. Okay. Now you know. Now you know. Oh God, it was hard to sleep at first. Thank God. I don't do good if I don't get my sleep. It happened when my dad passed away in 2012. But all grief is different. Or my grief is different. Okay, so this is how I do it to make, I call it a plop swirl. Put some of your soap in here. It's okay, we can be together. It's okay, it's all right. You can fast forward if you don't want to be here. It's okay, I could think about God instead of me or you. What could I think about God? How does soap apply to the gospel? Get clean. How do we get clean? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Give people soap, but you can't make them use it. You can tell them that soap cleans. I guess you could force people to take a bath. That's coercion again. Sloppy! Okay. Now I've got roughly half left in my crock pot. I'm still going. Okay, so then I'm going to add my mica. So I'll put half on one side and half on the other. So I can put a little bit of the top onto it. I want to come on in and see it a little better. I'm tired. I'm tired of working. Almost done. I don't know if I'm going to keep bringing you along. Okay. About a teaspoon. Oh, and it's what if I would disperse it in a little water, it would do better, but I forgot again. Let's look at our other soap here. It's cooking along. I wrote the time down so I'll know how many minutes it is. Okay. Yeah, if I would disperse it in a little oil, because you only disperse titanium dioxide in water. I've done it this way before, and it's okay. Oh, purple is so happy. Thank you, Lord. Sage loved this soap. She said it was her opinion that it cleared up her acne. But I only claim that soap cleans. That's what I'm legally allowed to claim. And when I went through her possessions, this is, I guess I don't need to, I'm sharing something. I found her soap box and her used soap, lavender. And I threw it away because who wants used soap? Not me. I guess I could have. It was painful. So instead of throwing away the memory, I saved the painful memory and shared it with you. You like them apples. You like that lavender. Okay, so now that it's mixed in here, like so, make a plop swirl. A little bit over here, a little bit over there. It looks like I have a whole bunch more soap than I need. Why is it such a big batch? Mercy. That's good. It's multiplied. It's a mess. Yay. I want every bar to get a little bit of purpley happiness. I think it does. Why? Okay, keep going. So now it's starting to chill, you know. It's starting to firm up. Can you see? Yeah, you can see. I might be done. I'm talked out today. That's an amazing thought. Okay, and so where I get soap scrap samples is because look at this crock. I have like these leftover little bitty, and it'll dry and it'll be like crummies. So that's what I put because I don't want to waste it. I want to use it. Put it in a organza bag and give it away and call it a soap scrap sample. That's what I'm going to do with the other soap that I'm making over there. Woo! Rushing. Okay, the last thing we're going to check our list. Oh, that's nice. So we're going to check our list. Wow, I've never done a video this long that I know of. Okay. Steps for soap. Stick blend until trace. Cook batter on low in crock pot. Prepare mold. Add super fats and continue cooking. Cool soap to 160. Add fragrance or essential oils and stir. 11. Put soap in mold and cool. So this is what we have to do tomorrow. 12. Unmold soap. 13. Cut soap. 14. Label soap. 15. Clean up and put all tools away, which should actually be now because it's time to clean up. Clean up, clean up. Everybody do your share. Here comes the fun part. Another memory. I couldn't part with it. I could get rid of the soap box and the soap that was lavender, but I couldn't get rid of that. So now it's a soap towel. I think I'm done sharing today. I think I'm done. I don't have my other thing, so I guess I'm gonna say goodbye. Ooh, the rule is wipe your nose first. Yep, I'm gonna do the outro. Okay, So that's how I make hot process soap, and I'm so glad that you joined and you came along with me. And I don't think I'm going to finish my small crock. Maybe I'll do that another day. Things that I should say, like, subscribe, that's what I don't care. I don't care if you do that. You're here if you want to be here. What else is there? Did I remember everything? I think I did. I think I'm done. So thank you for joining me. I took off my ring too. I'm so grateful you're here. Do you have any questions? If you need to get a hold of me, Pennie, Pennie _Nelson@yahoo.com. Send me an email or send me your phone number, text, so I can text you back. That's the fastest way. And I think that's all for today. Hey, it is January 11th, 2024, and it is the only day you get. It's the only day you get. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And his mercy is new every morning. And do you know what? It's not 5 o'clock somewhere. It's not. But it's morning somewhere. I don't know. Does that make sense? If it's morning, is it 5 o'clock too? But we're not having a 5 o'clock. I've been drinking from the well.